The Dodge Coronet, the muscle car with a name like a lace brassiere. Yeah, well, I want a house in the Caymans. I guess we're just gonna have to manage our expectations. The University of Minnesota, offering secretarial training to women of all genders. I guess I want to be Ben Bernanke's secretary. Dreams can come true, it can happen to you. Be a secretary.
I wish they'd hurry up and invent cut and paste.
I really don't think I'll ever learn.
Oh, here we go. Mr. Smooth. Oh, yeah, well, I'll be here tomorrow, ladies. You can't avoid me. Ah, dramatics. Women already have that one cracked. Am I right, fellas?
The nurse says you have lice, dear. Take this home to your parents.
Is she trying to remote view him? What's she concentrating on? Well, I guess it's grave digging for me.
Hello, Julie. Hello, Mary. You're right on time. Just a minute. I'll see if Mr. Adams is busy.
Mr. Adams is the patient from Operation?
Good morning, June.
Good morning, Mr. Adams.
Won't you sit down?
Thank you.
Of course I
I'm
won't.
glad to get your note. My program for next semester has been bothering me.
What have you planned to take?
Well, you know how much I like my work in the commercial department. I thought perhaps I should cancel history and physics. I don't really need them.
Because I have these gams.
Dictation. I want to become a stenographer.
Yes, that sounds like a reasonable plan. But what do you think stenographers do to earn a living? Have you
Marry the
actually
boss?
visualized yourself in a secretarial position? What do you think the work would be like?
Meanwhile...
I think I have an idea. If I were doing stenographic work in an office, I imagine I would...
Hey, she's just back at her high school.
Get an opportunity to call him this afternoon. I want to inform him very shortly.
You'll hear from me.
I'll have dinner with him.
I would do routine typing and form letters.
Oh, quick cuts really make this baby pop.
I'd work regular hours, learn to handle new materials and duties, and do the work expected of me.
You don't hear from me would be impossible to.
The nurse says you still have lice, ma'am.
I'd suggest you take these files and hold them for a few days until lunch.
Of course, Mr. Adams, there are monotonous jobs such as filing, but all clerical workers must do these things.
Stones, I think I'll have to call you back.
Business things, the things that talk about business.
And that's my idea of stenographic work, Mr. Adams.
Yes, that's clerical work. But aren't there other types of clerical work that require more training, more skill, and further education?
Boy, he's really moving quick. I hope she gets all this.
It might be well to think beyond mere routine typing and filing and shorthand.
Look, which one of us is the counselor here?
But we don't have such courses at Westport High School.
Or wherever it is I've been
Where can I get
transported
training for
to.
other kinds of clerical work? And what other types of office jobs are there?
Well, suppose we see if we can find the answers to your question.
Mr. Adams left a
Let's
chair
see
for
if Miss
Elijah there.
Harrison of
That's
the
nice.
commercial department can help us get the information we need.
All right.
Enter Miss Harrison of the commercial department.
Miss Harrison, you're going into the city this afternoon, aren't you?
Yes, I am, Mr. Adams.
If June can be excused from classes, I wonder if you'd take her to Messon's office so that she can see some examples of really advanced clerical work.
Like sleeping with the boss.
Miss Harrison, do you suppose I could talk with one of the private secretaries who works for a top executive?
Why, I'm sure that can be arranged with an acquaintance of mine who is a secretary. I'll call
For
her
a
and acquaint
top
you with her, June.
executive.
I'm leaving on the 1:40 bus. Can you be ready then? Yes, I can, and thank you. Surely.
Let's take that again. More rigid this time, everyone. Oh, they took the 1:40 bus from Minneapolis to Frankfurt. I wonder if these titles were created by the commercial department.
Good morning, Message Incorporated. Good morning, Mr.
What do you say, Carl? Businessman's lunch down at the VU? Or...
There you are. Good morning, Message Incorporated. Yeah. All right, would you like to talk to him?
Businessman's lunch? That's nothing, dear.
Good morning, Message Incorporated. Good morning, Message Incorporated. Yes, hold the line there, please. Is there anything I can help you with?
Freshen your drink.
Yes, I have a telephone appointment with Miss Lee. Would you please tell her that Miss Harrison and Miss Woods are here? Miss Lee is expecting you. You can go right in. It's the first door on the left down the corridor. Thank you. Good morning, Message Incorporated. Yes, hold the line there, please. Because this affair has so many ramifications,
Shovel on more coal.
it would be easier for everyone if a meeting could be arranged. Oh, hello, Miss Harrison. Come on in, won't you? Hello, Miss Lee. And this is the young lady. Yes, this is June Woods, whom I talked to you about this morning.
Well, she used to be a man, but let's not get into it.
I'm very glad to help her. In fact, I've arranged so that we can spend the next hour together. Won't you sit down, please? Well, thank you, but I have some important calls to make. You'll have to excuse me this time. I'll be back in about an hour. All right, Miss Harrison. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
What a
I'd like to let
bitch.
you see the routine clerical department first. Many of our girls begin their work
Goodbye.
with the following department after graduating from high school.
Miss Lee is explaining to June the system employed in the filing department. It is necessary to have supervisors to direct the girls, as some of the work is not so simple.
After all, these are
High
broads.
school graduates and have had some training in accuracy and speed. Employers depend greatly on the recommendations of counselors and teachers, as the applicant's school grades are also very important in obtaining a job.
And now she's explaining that. Oof, there's a hailstorm in here.
In the stenographic department, some of the girls are transcribing shorthand notes, and others are doing routine typing, such as form letters that can't be duplicated, making copies when several carbons are needed, and cutting stencils for duplicating machines.
They receive a meal of stale bread twice a day, and then it's back into their leg
The
irons.
average typist has had a year or two of training beyond high school, and many of them are from junior college commercial departments.
They are also shapeshifters.
70 words a minute is considered good typing speed. However, it is not uncommon to find typists who can do 90 words per minute or more.
Provided they have more than two hands.
Depending upon the ability and alertness of the individual, these girls will become proficient stenographers and gain promotion to different departments as their experience becomes greater.
A steady diet of crystal meth keeps the girls peppy and prevents them from wandering away from the the office.
It's a busy one. This machine is electrically operated and used for short runs, reproduction of drawings, graphs, and the employee's weekly newspaper.
Notice it's fetching checkered blouse.
Manually operated machines of the same type are used. For work requiring hundreds of copies, this duplicating machine is used.
Its name is Sylvia.
Training for the operation of these machines is obtained either at special commercial schools at
Yep, separatist propaganda. I guess it's back to the gulag for you.
It is not uncommon to find men doing this type of work.
Just kidding.
However,
It's very
girls are
uncommon.
preferred on routine jobs which require speed and accuracy. There is still a bookkeeping department, but it looks as though the girls are in a hurry to get back to Miss Lee's office.
They'll get back using speed and accuracy.
To do many of these jobs. Let's sit down, shall we? Thank you. What about your own job, Miss Lee? You're an office manager as well as head secretary, aren't you? Yes. One of my most important duties is to make appointments with the president.
And to stir the chocolate in Mr. Wonka's
Should
factory?
be given 15 minutes, and which one should take his problems to someone else in the firm. Sometimes it takes every ounce of tact I can muster
Comma.
to keep everyone contented.
Period.
Another important job of mine is to read and abstract materials from contracts and papers
Semicolon?
so that the president can tell in a moment whether he needs to do any more research before making a business decision.
My college training has proved its importance in this work. Are you planning to go to college?
Oh, I've thought about it.
Oh, this is where Project Runway got the idea to loop all of Heidi Klum's lines.
I'm going to talk to Mr. Adams about it tomorrow.
Excuse me, please. Miss Lee?
Lice, you say?
Yes, Mr. Messon. Right away.
Well, I see that you're busy and I shan't take any more of your time. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Goodbye. And good luck.
But mostly goodbye.
Want a toke off my vaporizer?
June, did you have a good time on your trip to Messon's office yesterday?
Yes, I did. But, Mr. Adams, do you think I could make a go of it?
Now, why do you ask that?
Are you stupid?
Well, I talked to Miss Lee, who has just the kind of a job I'd like someday, and she said that it was necessary to have college training for that job. So I've talked to Mother and Father, and they think that I might go to college. Do you think I should?
Before I answer your question,
Let me revarnish
take
my
a look
hair.
at your experience and record. Then you and I can think through to an answer. Your high score on the Scholastic Aptitude Test indicates that you can do good work in college. Moreover, your high score on the Clerical Aptitude Test indicates that you can become a good secretary.
If you'd had a low score, you'd be some kind of woodland creature.
I'm capable of doing good work in college?
Yes, June. You have the fundamental ability to do good work in college.
You'll be
Moreover,
doing
your
keg
fine
stands
record in
just
school
fine.
Shows that you use that ability efficiently.
I think that I'm genuinely interested in secretarial work, and I'm more confident of my interest after talking to Miss Lee.
Whoop! Little gas
Some of my
there.
classmates tell me that their vocational interests have changed. I'm afraid that I may change, too.
Your interests may change, June, as you grow more mature and acquire new experiences.
You may begin listening to Light Rock and NPR.
Your likes and dislikes are similar to those of successful women in secretarial occupations. I would say that your choice of secretarial work is a good one, and that you will most likely continue to be interested. However, you must remember that you will have to start at the bottom and work up to that position.
And by bottom, I mean the secretary of the basement.
Of course. But there are many, many ways in which you can use your interest in commercial occupations. Later on, you may even wish to shift to some other line of work. You should not worry about the narrow...
This guy should have been my guidance counselor's guidance counselor. She would have made a much better secretary.
But, Mr. Adams, Miss Lee stressed, and I saw for myself, the girls in offices work closely with each other and must be well-liked. Do you think that I have the personality for that type of work?
Suppose you tell me what things you have done with other people. What activities have you been participating in school?
I've been in so many things.
Future clanswomen of America.
I was elected president of my campfire group. Last month I read and prepared an article on the American Indian before the School Historical Society.
It's called Gambling Monopolies and You.
Social chairman in my church. And last summer I was cabin leader at camp.
Oh, that's where she got the lice.
Well, that would certainly seem to indicate the right kind of personality for getting along with persons of your own age. Have you worked with older persons?
You remember that I did some work in a law office last summer.
Methuselah
They were
LLC.
very pleasant and nice to me, but I don't know whether that means much.
Oh, yes, it does. That's fine. I can't predict with certainty just how your personality may develop.
Now see, that's just good CYA.
Points to the likelihood that you will continue to be sociable and cooperative. There's one other question that I wanted to ask you.
How do you pronounce cooperative?
Will you be able to get further training?
I was talking with Father last night, and he said that he would be able to pay for most of my expenses. I may have to earn some money myself.
A good many college students do work for pay.
You can start by writing papers for the men's basketball team.
At least for the first year. When you are ready to go to college, I will be glad to write your counselors and ask them to help you find work. Where had you planned on going to college?
Are you angry enough for Sarah Lawrence?
I suppose to the state university, since it's so close and I can live at home. Do you see anything wrong with my plan?
Well, only squares live at home, but otherwise.
There, Miss Harrison thinks very highly of their courses in secretarial training. I have the bulletins describing their business courses. Take them and study them.
They appear to be printed on birch bark.
Planning now, even a year ahead of time.
But, Mr. Adams, I want to do something now.
Oh, but there are many things that you can do right now, June. I suggest that you talk these matters over with your parents, and if they would like to see me, I'll be very glad to talk with them.
Oh, that'll be fine.
Tomorrow we can go over your program for next quarter. And then later we can check your courses with the entrance requirements to the university. Next semester, I'd like to give you some of these books and pamphlets to read.
Geez, it's a good thing he only has that one student to counsel.
I want to talk with you, June, at least twice each semester. You see, this problem of making a choice is not a simple one, and it cannot be decided in a single day.
An empty hanger on a coat rack really fills out a scene.
More about yourself and the world in which you will live and work.
Thank you very much. You've helped me a lot.
And you're welcome, June. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes, you too can be an emotionless slave, devoid of feelings, thoughts, or ideas, and forever toiling over a typewriter.